Today is Thursday, the 10th day of April 2025. I am George Wenner and I am here in Vernons in St. Peter constituency. And we did a video on the 10th of January, 90 days ago, of this area. 90 days ago on the 10th of January, just 4 days ahead of the by-elections in St. Peter. And what we were concerned, our concern was this area in the St. Peter's constituency on the northernmost extremity of Vernons, the community of Vernons. This area was without running water, and so it's a mall road going into the community. This is at the entrance, and APOA came and they promised running water to the constituents ahead of the by-elections. And they came and they dug up this area to lay the pipes. The pipes were laid, but they are yet to be connected. So, as reported by the residents in this community, the lines are not charged. That is, there is no running water in the lines to the houses. The houses are not connected to the main. Even though they buried the pipes, there is no running water. However, from since then, 3 months ago, they came, they dug up the road and destroyed the little mall road. So whenever it rains, this is what the constituents have to deal with. Let's take a drive inside and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So we had to trek on the main, engaging four-wheel. Even though this is the main, the sub-base is somewhat compacted. Members of the community, they have to park on the main and then walk on foot going into the areas. So these are the quality of the houses here in this area. Taxpayers who are without running water, pipe-borne water. Even though the Public Utilities Authority came and laid the pipes, the reports are that they're not connected to the homes in this area. So let's take a journey down and you can see what obtains. So this is what they have to put up with whenever it rains. And this morning is a rainy morning. It rained overnight. And this is what it is. So, as you can see, there are no evidence of any APOA connections to these houses. So this is the property. You don't see any APOA meter anywhere coming up out of the ground going to this property. All the property is here, and this is what obtains. And this is just a slight overnight drizzle. It wasn't a heavy downpour, but you can see the mess. And morning. Since the elections, this is what obtains. Here again, nowhere you see any evidence of any meter coming up out of the ground to serve the properties. No connections. Here again, no evidence of any meter coming up out of the ground. here with these properties. So we're going on the other side. And the dogs are excited to see us. Security. Early warning. This dog wants to have me for breakfast. Oh, here's one on the road. Okay, and as you can see, the properties here, no connection. There's no evidence of any water mains or anything of the sort. You can see the owners inside. Morning. Oh, when passing through. Just observing how they're treating you with no water connections and no roads. As you can see, there's no water meter coming up, no connection to the houses. And you know, taxpayers, they invest in their homes in these areas. They pay their taxes. They deserve better. And this is what passes for a road in this community. This needs to be addressed. So this pole has toppled under the weight. It's bent. This has to be addressed. That's the APUA meter, but nothing for water going to this property. And so as we make our trek on foot, early warning, the dogs in this community, they're looking to have me for breakfast. I see you. And as you can see, yet again, no connection. No evidence along going into the perimeter of the property of any water mains for APUA. This comes to a dead end east of the stadium. And so these properties, taxpayers, they deserve better. No roads. Ahead of the by-elections on January 14, 2025. Morning, George Wenner. Just checking the road conditions and all that, and still no water connections. So I have to make a video. Fighting for you, man. So we still have a situation. We're calling on the Gaston Brown administration. You fooled the people in St. Peter, particularly in the community of Vernons, ahead of the by-election of January 14, 2025, promising roads, promising water. You sent APUA here, the Public Utilities Authority. They buried some pipes, as we reported, on the 10th of January, 90 days ago. The by-elections were 86 days ago. And still, the people here in Vernons are without water. They're without any roads. And this was just a sprinkling. It wasn't a heavy overnight shower. Just a sprinkling. And you see the terrible conditions. What if they have real precipitation? Heavy precipitation. They have to park their cars out on the main and trek, just as I'm doing here, on foot. I have on my boots, but for some they have to tie plastic bag over their feet, and this is what it is. They have made significant investment. Investment in a house is the most serious investment of their lives, probably, and they can't have running water. No running water, no proper roads. And this is the life, this is the conditions individuals here in Vernons have to put up with after they were promised roads, after they were promised water ahead of the by-elections in January, 3 months ago. And just where the by-elections came on the night of January 14. That was it. Everything ceased. They just grade up the earth going down there. No concrete roads to the people, the voters here in Vernons. This is the plight of the constituents in this community in Vernons. This is the plight of most in all Antigua. Now, what is ironic, in this very same constituency in St. Peter, just a few miles east, the Yida gets a licensing agreement where they get lifetime tax concessions into perpetuity. Oh, he's excited. Tax concessions into perpetuity where they get pothole-free roads. And in the same constituency, a few miles west, this is how taxpayers, the average ordinary taxpayer in this constituency, this is the conditions they have to put up with. Where either through a licensing agreement and they enjoy tax concessions into perpetuity and pothole-free roads guaranteed by the government of Antigua and Barbuda, where the minister and the Ministry of Works have to provide either with pothole-free roads. And this is the condition under which residents in this constituency, they have to live. And this was just an overnight drizzle, no heavy downpour. So you can imagine if there's a downpour, what's the condition? Look at my shoe. We have to walk to our vehicles, park. This is a day in the life of the constituents of St. Peter, specifically those who reside in Vernons. George Wenner holding their feet to the fire, keeping them honest.